Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to the evening session as we round up our trading for today. We'll just recap on what we've done today so far. We met this morning, and on looking at the economic calendar, we knew there was a report due out from Europe, the European Central Bank publishing a monthly report. That was due out at 9 a.m. GMT plus 1. And then obviously the big one was the UK or the Bank of England interest rate decision at 12 noon GMT plus 1. And as we know, the markets tend to trend sideways prior to the last report of high importance. Now, the last report of high importance was the Bank of England interest rate decision at 12 noon GMT plus 1, which will have more of an impact on currencies paired with the pound. Well, like we said this morning, because the UK is the financial center of the world, there was always the chance that the interest rate decision from the UK would also have an impact on other markets. So that's why we said we'll be careful trading the markets even before 12 noon, even though we're focusing on the euro-US dollar. But because of the report due out from Europe, the European Central Bank monthly report at 9 a.m. GMT plus 1, we decided that we might place a pending order just before 9, just in case the market or the euro-US dollar moves when the report was published at 9 a.m. So with that in mind, we went to the markets. We had a look at the markets, the euro-US dollar. I'll just bring the chart up. So that's the euro-US dollar. So when we met in the morning, let me just compress this a bit, just so we can see the first resistance. Brilliant, that's it. So when we met in the morning, we noticed the market was trending sideways, and it had also spiked the first support and the pivot point. So the only clear opportunity this morning was a pending buy order just above the first resistance, and that was just before the 9 o'clock report. So we placed a pending buy order just above the first resistance, just before the 9 o'clock report. But as we can see, the market didn't get there and continued to trend sideways. So when we met just before the Bank of England interest rate decision at 12 noon, we then noticed that the market was still trending sideways. And at the time, we said the pivot point and the first support were not good points of entry into the market, so we were not able to use the pivot point strategy to look for sell opportunity. We left our pending buy order just above the first resistance, but we had no clear sell opportunity at that point using the pivot point strategy. But what we then said is that if the market itself forms a market support, we could potentially use that to trade. And that's what happened. I'll just make this smaller. So that's what happened at that point. So the market formed a market support at that point, where it formed a low there, and then it tested the low there and went back up. So it formed a market support there. Let me make this nice and neat. So it formed the market support, and now that it formed the market support at that level, we then had an opportunity to trade, placing a pending sell order just below the market support. So we're now using the market support strategy, not the pivot point strategy. So this is now a separate strategy we're using to trade. So that was the strategy we used, the market support strategy. And as we can see, the market broke the support there, which kicked in a 20 pips stop loss and a 60 pips profit limit. And as we can see, since the market broke the support, it's been trending sideways. So again, we've come to the end of the trading day. We've come to the end of the trading day, and as usual, you have two choices to make. You can either just close your trade wherever you are. You take your profits or your loss, whatever it is. You can just close your trade because it's the end of the trading day, and tomorrow it's another day. Or alternatively, you can let your trade run to the next day, which is what I do, and that's what I've been doing since we started the 2-week session. So that's what I consistently do. I let my day trades run over to the next day till I achieve my targets. Apart from Friday, so Friday evenings I close all my day trades. But today is Thursday, so I'm going to let this run over to the next day. Now we can see that the market is trending sideways now. That's the new low of the sideways trend, so we're going to mark that out now. So the low there is 35886. So that's the low of the sideways trend. Oops. There we go. And the high point is at that point there. The high there is 36053. So that's just a high of sideways trend. Okay, so we now know where the market is trending sideways within those two white points. That's all, those two white lines. I'll just remove the market support. That was just there, just so we knew what we were talking about. But I'll just remove that. Oops. There we go. So we now know clearly that's the new sideways trend. And we'll leave that till tomorrow and see the market continues trending within those two lines. So like I said, I usually leave my trades to run over to the next day. But what I'm now going to do, because the market is trending sideways, I'll just reduce my risk by 10 pips, which would just be above the sideways trend. So instead of risking 20 pips, I'll just be risking 10 pips. So I'll just reduce that, which keeps my stop loss still above the sideways trend, and then we'll see what happens. So I'll just fill out my spreadsheet. I'm just going to assume I'm going to lose this 10 pips. I've reduced it to 10. So I'll assume for now I'm going to lose that. So I will put that at 547. Obviously, if that changes tomorrow, I will adjust that. But for now, I'll reduce my risk to 10 pips. So I will assume I'm going to lose that. So I will just put that at 547. And again, the main thing is that it was a good trading day because I stuck to my trading plan. And again, the market trended sideways prior to the last report of high importance. So again, fill out your spreadsheets. If it was a bad day for you and you didn't take your trades, or you didn't stick to your plan, or you didn't do as you were supposed to do, then mark it down as a bad day. So you need to be honest with yourself as a trader and make sure that you improve on anything that you're not doing well. And again, you write down as many observations as you can of what you've observed in the markets during the day. This is just some examples I'm giving you, so it's not an exhaustive list, so you can write as many things as you want to write as to what you observed in the markets. Okay, so that's what happened today, and that's the end of the day. So if you have any questions, do click the hand button or send your questions through the question box. Hello, good evening, Andy. Hello, Andy. I hope you can hear me. We had the same problem yesterday. And like I said, if you are unable to speak, you can send me a question through the question box. You can just type in your question. I hope you can hear me, Andy. I can see your hand up, but unfortunately I can't hear you. I don't know if you're speaking. But like I say, if you have a question, you can either type your question into the question box and send it to me, or like I said, you can send me an email. Any other questions or comments before we call it an evening? Like I said, tomorrow is the last day of the 2-week session. We'll be rounding up the 2-week session tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. But like I said, the whole aim of this 2-week session is just to highlight the principles of trading. And as you can see, the key to success really is you being consistent, applying good money management, and being disciplined, and having obviously a plan and a strategy you follow. So you can see we've been applying the 3 M's all throughout the 2 weeks, and that's the key. So it's the principles that you need to take away to apply to your trading. So even if you're trading 4 or 5 markets, you apply the same principle. Obviously, you trading 4 or 5 different markets will depend on your money management. It's your money management that will determine how many markets you trade. So again, it's just the principles of being consistent, not being greedy, not being afraid. You take your chances when you have them, knowing that losses are inevitable. Stick with your plan, be consistent, and that's what makes you successful. Okay, brilliant. So if there are no more questions, comments, I wish you all a good evening. And Andy, if you can still hear me, you can send me an email of your question. All right, take care, everyone. Have a good evening, and we'll speak again tomorrow morning.